All right. Welcome to our first lesson for the week. And so this is going to be one of two last lessons for our digital literacy unit. And so today, or just to put it into context, last week you guys talked a little bit about how to evaluate online sources. And today we're going to talk about intentional mis and disinformation that is shared on social media. And so just to quickly give you a short, oops, that's the wrong one, short definition. When we talk about disinformation, you may have heard the term before, fake news, but this is information that's being shared on the web that is entirely fabricated or made up, and it is the person who creates it, the person who does it, knows that it is, and so it's being shared with the intention to dupe someone. It's the intention to misinform someone. And so I have a couple of examples here I'll show you in a minute, but we want to think a little bit about the difference between what I call misinformation versus disinformation. And so misinformation, there will be things on the internet that potentially are incorrect. Maybe they're fixed later. Maybe new information comes to light, and the website may update their source, or maybe they don't, but the information is just wrong, right? And maybe there's just like a lack of information. And so last week, you have to make sure that you are really vigilant about making sure that you know how to evaluate sources and making sure you're double checking sources. But that information, the person who posted it may not necessarily even know that it was wrong, or the person who wrote it even. So that is different than what we're going to call disinformation. So disinformation is information with the intent to deceive someone, the intent to intentionally spread information that is knowingly false. And people actually do this for a living, as you're going to see in a video, because these really over-the-top news sites can get a lot of clicks, can get a lot of people following them, and because websites make money off of advertisements, this spread of fake news, the spread of disinformation, is a moneymaker for many people. So we also obviously need to be really careful about that, because the disinformation and fake news has been used to influence elections. It's been used to influence political policy. It's been influenced, led to people, using that information to do really destructive things. So that's really what we're going to be focusing on today. So here are a couple of examples. This is from a news article that was shared a few years back. And there was a news article that claimed that Melania Trump had banned White House staff from taking flu shots. And so said that no one who works in the White House was allowed to get their flu shot. That ended up being, and this is Snopes here. Snopes is a good fact-checking website. But this was found out to be an entirely false article. Clearly, someone had an intention when they wrote this article, and they were trying to make Ms. Trump look bad, trying to make people, upset more. So they probably were had left-leaning or Democrat leanings and spread that false information in order to persuade people to, distance themselves from the Trump family. This one right here probably had a little bit more malicious intentions. And this is an article. If I pull it up, it's actually bringing me to the exact article, but this is also entirely false. This is an article that claims in 2018 that a Muslim doctor was on board a flight from New York to Las Vegas and refused to save a Christian man's life. So this is an article entirely fake, but it is very much an Islamic phobic attack. So it's an attack on people of the religion of Islam, and it's obviously spreads hate, right? It can spread hate. People who read this and believe that it's true will, it can lead to hate against hate and Islamophobia. So obviously really destructive. So we want to be careful of those. Disinformation is commonly used by a variety of parties, including some governments, to influence public opinion. And social media is very much of a breeding ground because that article gets posted, but then it gets reposted hundreds and thousands of times by other people, not even knowing that that article may be incredibly false. This is last year's estimate, but there are an estimated 47 million Twitter accounts that are bots. They're not real people. So about 15% of all Twitter accounts are just out there to spread information. Not necessarily all of those are to spread false information, but it's obviously very concerning. So what are some solutions? So the first solution is for social media sites to actually change their search and algorithms. There are social media sites that are working to fight against the spread of false information, but this can be really hard to do and hard to get right. As a consumer, as you guys can use things like fact-checking tools. So if you find an article and you are wondering if it is accurate or if it's true, that website that I just talked about, Snopes, there are social media sites, or there are sites out there where you can do some really quick fact-checking. So Snopes is one of them. And then regulation. So there are countries that are trying to regulate this. In this country, it becomes harder to do so because we have First Amendment rights. And so people are allowed to say things, even if they're not true, because of our freedom of speech. Now, you cannot intentionally say negative things about people that are going to cause harm, but it's still a really, really hard thing to prosecute. And then what we're going to do today, obviously, is to hopefully educate, right? So education, the knowledge and education are by far the best weapons against fake news. So understanding that it's out there and understanding how to detect it. So that is just a little overview. So going into your folder now, you are going to be starting here. You're going to watch this 10-minute CNN 10. It's going to explain people that are behind the spread of fake news. And you'll understand that it's not just people, it's not just people like creating fake websites. There's a lot of money behind this, and with that money, increases the spread, increases the professionalism of these fake news websites. You're also then going to view this quick checklist. So how do you identify fake news? Here's some easy steps you can do. And then you're going to give it a try. So in this assignment, this is called the Factitious assignment, you are going to be going in here. You're going to be going, it says 2020. That's because they updated their version for the pandemic. So you're going to go to this website. It's linked in the, the assignment. And you're going to start, I did not mean to go back to the 2018 version, but you're going to start a new game. And so what's going to happen is it's going to give you some instructions. You are going to be given a little news article or news clip, and you are going to, I'm just doing a little video, do a little swipe left or swipe right if you think it is fake news or not. When you get back to the article, you are going to choose 5 of those articles, and you are going to write whether you thought it was fake news or real news. And then you are going to say what's one way you can tell, and how does the source help you figure it out, okay? So once again, office hours, 9 a.m. to 9:30. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day.